Yeah, hi, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia. I've Googled the Jehovah Witnesses and the police, and I've come up with all sorts of situations where well-mannered people have tried to approach the Jehovah Witnesses and they've ended up calling the police for some reason or other. Now, you've only got to Google Jehovah Witnesses and the police and you find all these videos. Here, the police have had enough of them in Russia and they're just jumping over they're coming in and they're shutting them down. Here, the Christian comedy channel's Robert. This was an interesting one. This is the one in my first video of the Jehovah Witnesses and the police. But here, the J-Dubs in the street, our CART ministry, witness elders, did not report pedophilia to the street. Well, this is a funny thing, isn't it? On the one hand, they'll report people that want them to answer simple Bible questions or simple Watchtower questions to the police. Yet on the other hand, they won't report the pedophiles to the police. So Jehovah Witnesses rebuked police intimidation. Why Jehovah Witnesses don't report pedophiles to the police. That'd be an interesting one. Here, the Jehovah Witnesses call the police on a street preacher. Now, I haven't seen this. It's from Unprofitable Servant Ministries. I don't think I'll use that because I haven't got their permission. I like to have the courtesy to ask people before I use their videos. So, what's another one? Here's the Russian, is Russia clamping down on Jehovah Witnesses? They banned the Jehovah Witnesses. What else have we got? There's so many. Jehovah Witnesses, an apostate and the cops. Down with the tower, XJW. Let's have a look at this.
Hey, sir.
Yes.
Hey, so what's happening today?
I'm protesting,
Okay.
and they don't like it, basically.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, they have a right to be here just like you have a right to be here.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm going to ask of you is to not encroach upon their personal space. Because I see you standing within 2 feet of him. And if you're counter-protesting, that's way too damn close.
So 2 feet is the limit?
I'd say farther than that.
What would be a...
If I was here to deliberately interfere with what you're doing, would you feel comfortable me standing here recording you like this?
Right, well, I wasn't like that, but yeah, I agree, I wouldn't.
I was standing right there and I saw you this close to him talking to him, filming him. So, you may feel like you weren't that close. I observed you that close. I'm gonna ask you to take a few steps back from them, so at least give them the space, okay? You might not like what they're doing, but they have every right to be out here talking to people, okay? Also, I'm gonna ask you to not touch their merchandise. It may be free to some, but they're refusing to give any to you, okay? They have the right to deny somebody what they're giving away, okay? And if they don't want to give it to you, they have every right to refuse you service, to not talk to you, and to not give you what they're giving away, okay? Is that understood?
Right.
All right, awesome. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, well, I think you might have mentioned it to him because they seem to think that I don't have any rights to film them if I want to, and to preach to them if I want to. They think that they have the right because they're part of an organized religion and I'm not. So you should probably educate them a little bit on that.
I did let them know.
Okay, good. Yeah, I thought you were talking to them.
That you have every right to be here just as much as they do, okay? But at the same time, you start crossing the line when you start, again, encroaching upon their personal space.
Yeah.
Okay? Personally, if I was standing here minding my own business, not doing anything to bother you, I wouldn't feel comfortable with you getting as close to them as you were.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm just gonna ask you to take a step or two farther back away from them. And I mean, you know, just like you said, this is public property. you have the right to be here just as much as they do, okay? But at the same time, going out of your way just to mess with somebody, I don't think that's the best use of your time. But at the same time, you have every right to do so.
You're preaching to the choir, sir.
Just like we've been discussing.
I'm an activist. I do this a
Well,
lot.
that's awesome. Well, that's awesome, but
I was part of them for 35 years, and my family are shunning me. It affects my entire life. I don't need to tell you anything other than I'm an activist, and that should be good enough. Yeah,
I understand. And you know what?
I'm passionate about it.
Just like I said, you have every right to follow your passions, as long as it doesn't encroach upon the rights of others.
Exactly.
You have every right to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just gonna ask you to not be getting as close to them as I saw you getting to them.
Yeah.
So,
Part of the reason is because I don't want to be, you know.
I understand, but at the
yeah.
same time, there's also lateral space. You could be just on the other side of here. It may not be as close as you want to be, but at the same time, that's what's reasonable. Okay. And I definitely understand you don't want to be standing in the middle of foot traffic because
Right.
that's dangerous for people.
There's a lot of
walking,
people
that's
here.
dangerous for you. Absolutely, absolutely. But just like I said, please give them space for them, allow them to feel comfortable. Because again, I wouldn't feel safe or comfortable with you being as close to them as you would.
I hear this all the time from cops because I interact with them a lot here and everywhere actually around the city, and I'm fully aware of my rights. I mean, I know I'm a contractor and architectural guy. I know what 2 feet is, and I know I wasn't in his face, and I know I wasn't threatening, all that stuff. And like I said, I was just trying to stay out of the way.
Sure. But there's ways to accommodate for that.
Yeah.
So instead of being directly in front of them, out of foot traffic, so you end up being this close, why don't you go off on an angle and stand over here, out of his face?
Yeah. And that's fine. I can do that, but I can also advise you that I do know, like I said, I'm a contractor, that they don't have a permit for this. Therefore, I can actually file a complaint with the city of Hollywood because they're intruding in the pathway.
Then by all means,
I could do that if I wanted to. And actually, I was the guy.
I don't know who's gonna be walking through this straight into this.
That's
so
fine, sir.
they're
But
not in
let me
the
just
walkway.
tell you that
You have a right to be here.
I never said that.
Well, you're saying you're gonna file a complaint with the city
Because they're intruding. They need to be farther back. Yeah, in the pathway.
Any farther back, and if some vehicle runs up on the curb, they're gonna get hit. So no, this is a safe spot for them, sir.
I mean, you can argue for them, and point well
I'm
taken.
not arguing for them. I'm
That's
just saying
fine.
that this is the safest spot for them to be, as not blocking bad traffic.
That's fine. Okay, I'm responsible for them not having set their tables here anymore because they were blocking the
Well,
pathway.
congratulations for that. So if you want to file
problem.
any more complaints with the city, again, you have every right to do so. Okay, but again, I'm letting you know that you need to be staying a little bit farther back from them, so you're not encroaching on their personal space. But again, spend as much time here as you like. You have every right to counter protest. All right?
Yeah, preaching to the choir. No problem.
Sure. At the same time, I don't feel like I am preaching to the choir if you're continuing to encroach on their personal space and stand directly in their face. So, you may feel like you have the answers, but unfortunately, you don't have the answers for all of it. Okay? So I need you to
Keep my distance. I get it.
keep your distance, but also keep an open mind. Keep an open mind that
As far as what?
Just as far as you're free to believe what you want to believe, so are they.
Don't go
and-
there. Don't
and-
go there.
and-
I told you I'm an activist.
Okay.
I was.
And how does that change this conversation?
I was born into this. I know this organization inside out.
Okay.
I even served at their headquarters for many years.
Okay.
So you don't tell an activist, hey man, you don't have to believe. I've lived this life. I don't have to tell you all about this, and I don't want to bore you.
No.
Okay. So all you need to know is that I'm an activist.
Story,
That's all you need to know. I'm an activist against them, particularly
That's
because
great.
my parents shunned me and my daughter, my 8-year-old.
Okay.
Okay. So they're in a cult. They just don't know it. It's a high control group. Very, very high control group.
Due to the definition of what a cult is, it could be argued that they are in a cult, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that you can because you feel the way you do encroach on their rights and their ability to preach to people. Okay.
I agree.
I understand you feel strongly. I'm sorry for what happened to you and your daughter, that you guys were shunned from your family. That sucks. But at the same time,
Tell them that.
but at the same time, that doesn't change the fact that they have a right to be
I understand.
here. and they have a
I'll
right
do
to
what I
their
do
own
until I
personal
die,
space.
bro. Until I
And
die, I'll be an
they have a
activist.
right to their own personal
That's how
space.
strong and
That's
passionate
awesome.
I am.
That's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I get it.
Please don't
Don't
encroach
be
on the rights of
threatening.
others,
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
All right, sir. All right, if you need anything else, just let us know, okay? Yeah. See.
You have Satan's government on your side, bro. Isn't that nice? You guys love to call the police, but not for pedophilia. You'll call the police on apostates every time, but not for pedophiles. Right? Now I get to speak even louder. You want me farther away? I can speak louder.
One of the things that the world or the police system, and I love the police system, my daughter's training to be a policewoman here in New South Wales now. But one of the problems that they have is their lack of theological knowledge themselves. They don't realise, and I know they've got boundaries within which they have to work, but what they don't realise is, and this was from Down with the Tower, XJW, and this guy's passionate, what they don't realise is the Jehovah Witness organisation is not aligned with Christianity. It's a false religion because it refuses and goes to the extreme and extent of using the police to turn away people that need to know more answers. Now, when I was an evangelist, you spend hours on end, sometimes 5 or 6 hours, just answering questions with people. You'd get things chucked at you sometimes, you'd get punched, you'd get pushed. How can the Jehovah Witnesses just stand there? And we never called the police. I mean, that's part of taking yourself out there with the message of the Lord Jesus Christ and trying to share it. People are going to oppose it. But the Jehovah Witnesses, they're so weak, they're so rude, and where's the Holy Spirit with these people? Where's Jehovah? Why are they turning to the police? Another display of just terrible attitude, and if that cult is not aligned or an ally of Christianity, it's an organism, an organisation all on its own. And I would ask you, as I wrap this one up, please subscribe to Down with the Power XJW. And if you want the link, it's Jehovah Witnesses and Apostate and Cops. It goes on, actually. I've only given you a glimpse, but I don't want to run these too long. I'm just showing you that the Jehovah Witnesses have no manners, no Christian ethic in evangelism at all. It's their responsibility, if they put themselves out there, to have the courtesy, even if it's in opposition to what they believe, to try and attempt to answer their questions. And I think if the Jehovah Witnesses did try to answer the questions, and they did it fairly and squarely, and the person kept aggravating them or something, then I believe it would be a matter for the police. But these people aren't even engaging, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a nuisance and disgusting. And why would they be out there? Bye for now. Why should they be out there? Bye for now.